Woke up at 6 a.m. to the sound of my fence being chainsawed. But that wasn't even the worst part. By the time I stumbled outside in my boxers, Brendan Thornfield, my HOA president neighbor, was spray painting bright orange X's across the remaining fence posts, while her hired contractor kept cutting. The metallic rattle of the spray can mixed with the screaming chainsaw and splintering cedar, creating a symphony of destruction that had my neighbors peeking through their curtains. The acrid smell of two-stroke exhaust and fresh paint fumes burned my nostrils as sawdust settled on everything like toxic snow. I could actually taste the bitterness in the back of my throat. Brenda stood there in designer yoga pants and a safety vest, supervising the demolition of my 6-foot privacy fence like some deranged construction foreman. "Your fence is 2 inches too tall," she screamed, waving a crumpled HOA violation notice. "It ruins my mountain view and violates community standards." 20 feet of my Memorial Garden fence were gone. What would you do if you caught your neighbor destroying your property at dawn? Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and if you've ever dealt with a neighbor from hell. My name is Marcus DeLua, and 6 months ago, I thought moving to Pine Ridge Estates in Colorado would be my fresh start. I'm a 52-year-old electrical contractor who just lost my wife Sarah to cancer after a 2-year battle that drained our savings and broke my heart. The life insurance money bought me this modest ranch house sandwiched between 2 McMansions, and I figured a quiet suburban neighborhood was exactly what I needed to heal. The fence Brenda was destroying, I'd built it myself as therapy. Every board hammered into place helped me work through my grief. The rhythmic thunk of the nail gun, the rough texture of cedar under my calloused hands, the sweet smell of fresh wood stain, it was all part of building something beautiful for Sarah's memory. Behind that fence was her memorial garden, where the scent of her favorite roses mixed with lavender on summer evenings. But apparently my 6-foot privacy fence was blocking Brendan Thornfield's $1 million mountain view. Meet the HOA president from hell. Brenda is 48 years old, a real estate agent who drives a white Range Rover with Lux Lady vanity plates. She's got 2 spoiled teenage sons who throw parties that shake windows 3 houses down, but somehow their beer cans scattered across multiple lawns never warrant violation notices. Her investment banker husband travels constantly, leaving Brenda plenty of time to patrol our neighborhood like a designer-clad dictator. The targeting started my first week. She claimed my work truck violated commercial vehicle restrictions because it wasn't aesthetically compatible with neighborhood character. I asked to see that specific rule. She produced a binder thick enough to stop bullets, filled with bylaws that seemed to multiply like rabbits. I parked in my garage. She complained about unsightly electrical supplies visible through the window. I hung a curtain. Then came the violation notices. Lawn 1 inch too tall, $50 dolly fine. Garbage bins visible 30 minutes past pickup, $50 dolly fine. Unauthorized outdoor storage because I left a rake against my house, $50 dolly fine. Each violation notice arrived on expensive cream-colored paper that felt thick and important between your fingers, while Brenda delivered them personally in designer heels that click-clacked across my driveway like a countdown timer. Her overpowering perfume, some sickly sweet floral nightmare, would linger in the air long after she left, marking her territory like a territorial animal. When I'd sit down with my morning coffee to read her latest complaints, the bitter taste seemed to match my growing resentment. The cheap grocery store blend wasn't helping my mood as violation notices piled up on my kitchen counter, but the fence was Brenda's declaration of war. She claimed my 6 Pro 2 barrier violated the 6-foot maximum height restriction and encroached 2 inches onto mysterious HOA common area that existed nowhere in my property deed. She'd hired a surveyor specifically to find violations after I ignored her friendly suggestion to voluntarily lower the fence. "This fence destroys property values and creates a hostile living environment," she announced during my first HOA hearing, which was held in her living room instead of the community center. The crunch of store-bought cookies on paper plates filled the awkward silence as board members, her sister-in-law Janet, and 2 elderly residents who clearly feared Brenda nodded along like bobbleheads. When I presented evidence that 3 other properties had identical fence heights, Brenda dismissed it as technical mumbo-jumbo. When I pointed out the bylaws required a 30-day notice for violations, not her arbitrary 72-hour deadline, she increased my daily fine to $300 for wasting the board's time.